Hey traders, Raghee here, and in this recap video we're going to cover two of the setups that triggered today. I got a lot of questions about these two setups, so I thought this would be a perfect time to recap these, talk about some of the nuances of these entries, and in this way basically what you can do is look for these setups to occur again, because the price action is a repetitive thing. The actual setup, even though it's going to be in the NQ, I'm going to walk you through the NQ and the Natty Gas entry, distribution fades happen with the same series over and over again. Also the swing short and Natty Gas. So let's just jump into it. So first of all, yesterday when we had the sell-off in the Nas, we hadn't quite gotten to what I would believe would be an absolute oversold level. So I'm looking for two things when I'm looking for an oversold level. One, I've actually got to get near or to the previous lows, and the previous lows are really easy to identify because when you're using the Darvis on your charts, the Darvis is going to automatically look at those 4-day cycle lows, plot the horizontal line automatically so it's on your chart, and then I just extend that out with my own hand-drawn line. Notice that we didn't get there yesterday. So because we closed heavy, now what do I mean by that? Look at the price action down here near the bottom of the range. When I see something like that, my expectation is we could see a little bit more weakness the next session, and that's exactly what we got. In fact, at this point we got down to 56.32 with expectations of 43.25, 41.25 being the support layer. So that's an easy buy in this area on the very next day. Now, for those of you that are uncomfortable with exhaustion buys, what does that mean? You're buying support within the context of chop. So that exhaustion at support would trigger the buy. One really easy way to confirm this would be with an oversold stochastic. So let me show you what that looked like. So here's a stochastic, a slow stochastic. Well, you'll notice, wait a minute, Rog, there's no oversold stochastic. Exactly. So this makes it a very aggro entry, which most of you would have said, Rog, it wasn't on the spreadsheet. You know, how can we take this trade? Perfect question. If you were asking that, perfect question. All right, so here comes the 30-minute NQ. Now we did this live in the chat room. So take a peek at what we had with the downtrend here. And instead of looking for exhaustion or support at the floor, now I'm waiting for some kind of bullish momentum through a ceiling. Realize they're both buys, but now I'm dialing it down to a 30-minute time frame looking for that opportunity. So when price action rallied through, and take a look at the Darvis here, Darvis resistance, and the 56.80 minor psychological level, what we set up live in the chat was a 56.81 wave reversal buy. What I want here is the 34 EMA wave to be broken. That's the 34 EMA on the high with a positive CCI reading, and that triggers the buy. So you might say, well, Rog, what does this have to do with the daily? If you were uncomfortable or if this was unconfirmed, you look for an alternative, and the alternative buy was the momentum buy through resistance. So that was the NQ, which was a really solid trade. A little tricky though with some volatility, but a solid trade. All right, the next trade example was the natural gas trade. So this is Natty Gas NG on the daily time frame. So you'll see here, Natty Gas went up into the previous high at the Darvis. That was that 3.115 level. It was previous resistance and the 34 EMA on the close. And that 34 EMA on the close exhaustion, you can see here, the blue line was our conservative entry. Now, why would I opt for the 34 EMA on the close versus the 34 EMA on the low? Well, the Darvis just made it a little bit more attractive to say, well, the market's been here before. This is not a projected level. This is actually where the market's been before. So let's use that and short that layer again as long as we're trading inside and below the wave. So there was our short on Natty Gas. The thing to remember with this is, if you can have more than one reason to take advantage of exhaustion at a certain level, previous high, also the Darvis high, middle line of the wave, if you have more than one reason, then you're actually looking at a level that has a higher degree of reaction. There's more likely going to be a reaction at that level. So for those of you that are watching this now, I'm actually looking for follow-through based upon a 60-minute chart. This would be a wave reversal in the 60-minute, and the aggressive level has already been broken through the Darvas low. I don't like that level as much. The conservative level is going to be on the other side of the wave right here as we take out support through 3.067. So take a look at, say, 3.065, 64. Keep an eye on that area. Look for a negative 100 CCI reading, and there's your short sell. I call them guidance trades because it's giving me insight into when and where we might get an acceleration to the downside. And these are some really basic understandings of market trend analysis using some classic tools, a handful of moving averages to pinpoint those levels that we'll see act as tripwires for momentum or exhaustion within the context of some of these trades that we've taken just today. So you get to follow along over the next couple of days and see how they play out. I love examples like that. I'll see you in the next update.